Tat Sat. So before we start, I want to explain you what we are doing, what we will be doing in this camp. We will be trying to understand the basics of spirituality. When I say spirituality, it doesn't matter what religion it is. It is just a knowledge of a humankind. First of all, we will elaborate what we mean by yoga. When we say yoga, the clear concept that we have in our mind in general, that is what different poses, different pranayams, different breathing exercises. And then we stay there. That's the end of yoga. But it is not the end of the yoga. But after that, you have to start with the meditation as well. So meditation is a part of the whole yoga system. It is all together. The meaning of yoga is to join. So where to join? The first question is, where to join? For that, we need to understand why the yoga system formed. And then, how the solution came up. It is expected that it is from last 5,000 years. And people who started it, they faced some problems. They were trying to find some solutions for that. And as and when they start working on it, they are starting number of different methods. And based on that, they are able to find the solutions. So altogether, this is called yoga. So the question is, what was the problem then? Why we need yoga? The meaning of yoga is to join, but where? What? So the question, the problem was the feeling of emptiness, the feeling of unhappiness. Even if you have everything, that doesn't matter. If you are looking for money, if you are looking for fame, if you are looking for social and economical status, that's good. So you can search for, you can work for that. But the question comes from there. And the question is, after you have everything, why there is a unhappiness? Why there is an emptiness? And that emptiness is a problem. That pain is a problem. There are many times people ask themselves the question that even if I have everything, why I am not happy? What is the reason behind it? Earlier I was thinking that if I have something, I will be happy. So I try to achieve that. And at the end of the day, I achieved. But that achievement doesn't make any difference. Initially it was. But then on later stage, you will be in the same frame where you were earlier. So the feeling of emptiness, the feeling of unhappiness is all the time, and that was a problem. Then they try to find out the solution by doing different methods, by different people. That method was trial and error method. They tried something, they failed somewhere. But by doing that, by that errors, at the end they will come up with some solutions as well. So those solutions all together comes as a yoga. When you talk about yoga, it means the joining. Where to join? You have to join yourself, your individual consciousness with the universal consciousness. At that time, even if you have something or if you don't have something, doesn't make any difference. But this stage comes, this is the mental state where you are happy or unhappy, that comes when there is one hurdle is resolved. That hurdle is called mind. Mind is working in such a way, the target of mind is to generate desires. And as and when you generate desires, from there the unhappiness begins. We try to search for the happiness because of that desire. And at the end, when you get it, when you have it, when you are owner of the thing which you were looking for, you think, I don't need anything else now. Good thing is, at least you have a taste of happiness, because you have something which you were looking for from last 1 or 2 years. But the problem is, it doesn't stay. It comes, it goes after some time. And then again you will be in the same cycle. You are desiring, you are running, you are achieving. And your achieving doesn't make much difference, because after achieving, again you are starting with the new process, new cycle. So that cycle is like this, and this is going on and going on and going on. The problem is desires. We have a whole life filled of desires. We are not able to break that cycle. And from there the problem starts. Let me explain you one small example of myself. Like I just experienced that thing. I have a 5 or 6 years of kid, and his bicycle was broken. He was so much interested to ride that bicycle, but bicycle was broken. He was riding it and suddenly something happened and it was broken. So I decided, let me bring him a new bicycle. But at that time, all the shops were closed, and he was so eager to ride a bicycle. So I searched for the person who can repair it. And I got one person. So my assumption was, if I give him a new bicycle, he will be happiest person, like he will be more happy, rather than if I give him repaired bike. So we went to the bicycle one, the person who repairs the bicycle, and he said, okay, yeah, I can repair it, that's not a problem. And with that, I asked him to put a stand, because earlier the bicycle had a supporting wheels. So now you don't require a supportive wheels. So I asked him to put a stand, so that bicycle can stand on his own. My assumption was it doesn't make much difference for him, because this is what I am thinking. But I don't know it is useful for this kid or not. But when the bicycle came in, like we repaired the bicycle, and now the bicycle with the bicycle stand, he was so happy. He was so happy that he's telling everyone. He was so happy that he's always now started thinking about the stand only, not a bicycle, stand. Again, see, we need to analyze the situation in different ways. Normally we think that whatever I am thinking, this is the right method of giving a pleasure and enjoyment to the other person. This is what my thinking was. But this is not the reality. I was assuming that I will be giving a new bike that will be much more, bring a happiness for him rather than riding the old bike. But that was wrong. He was more happy with the old bike, repaired bike with a stand. That's all. And this is what happens when we try to expect something from the other person. We always expect what we are looking for, but not what he is looking for. And this is not for one person, from me to him. It is from everyone, and this is a problem. And that's why the problem creates between the two people. Because I am expecting that you should do this. Because I am getting much more happiness by doing that. So if you do that, you will be more happy. But then the other person says, no. Do it. Like if you like, you do it. But I am not good to do that. This is not my cup of tea. I will do something else. And that gives a more happiness. So let me come back to my example. So finally we have a bicycle with a stand. Not a big thing, right? Now, we went to the park where many kids were playing. So, this kid goes to each and every kid, even he knows them or not. He goes to each and every one and says, see, my bicycle has a stand. That person don't know where the bicycle is. Even if you had called at that time, you were talking with me, then he told me like, oh, can you give me the phone? I said, but what do you want? No, I just give me a phone. So I said, okay, take a phone. Then he says, uncle, my bicycle has a stand. Wow. The person is staying somewhere 2,000 kilometers. He's not here. Even if you have a stand or not, it doesn't make any difference for him. But he was so much happy that he was saying to everyone, he was walking on the road, and if someone comes from the other side, he says, my bicycle has a stand. He says, oh, okay, that's good. But it doesn't make any difference for him. He said to each and every kid. Now see the difference now. Now we need to understand what happened. He said to each and every kid. So now he created desires in each and every kid. He tell everyone, oh, your cycle doesn't have the stand? Might have. Wow. Now the other kids, they just go to their mother and father and they say, oh, I want a stand in my cycle. And there were around 5-10 kids. So from there, before 1 month to now every kid have a bicycle stand. Perfect. See, this is a small incident, but this is the incident of a life. If you analyze the incident, this is for each one of us. If I bought a new watch, let's say I have a new watch, like this. If you ask me, how are you? So you will say like this. You will say, I'm just trying to hold it. Oh yeah, look at. This is a good point to see. I don't want to show you the point. I want to show you the watch. And looking at the watch, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, the desire comes from you. Let me bring the watch. Earlier it was not your requirement. You never think about a watch. But now, because of I am showing to you, every time you are saying, oh, I want to bring the watch. So how the desire created? It is not from you that I want it. It is not your basic desires. But it is basically from someone. Someone used it, you have seen that, and from there it started. So this is how the whole human system is. Whenever the desire starts rising, let's say you are at the calmness level of 90%. You are so calm, you don't need anything, you are sitting like this and you are so happy at your position. At that point, the desire starts rising from you. You need something, let's say we talk about watch. So desire start rising from you. Now you say, I want a watch. And your mind will tell you, see, this is the strategy of mind. Your mind will tell you, if you have a watch, you will be much more happy than right now. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, the same thing mind gonna tell you again and again and again, and at the end, you accept it. As and when you accept it, you are at the 90% level of the calmness. So your mind is saying, if you get the watch, you will be more happy. By that way, when you accept that desire, immediately from 90 to you become 40. So technically, you are reducing your calmness. And now mind is saying, now you can increase up to 90. So technically, you are missing something, you are losing it. But still, once you accept it, done. So this is how the mind works. This is the power of mind. When the mind comes in between your body and the soul, the distance starts rising. When I say distance, that means the feeling of unhappiness. The feeling of emptiness starts rising. And after that, you run for that desire. When you are running for desire, you are so much stressed. You are so much tensed. You are not relaxing. And after getting it, you will be happy. And that's right, you will be happy. But again, the problems start from there at that point. Whatever, the rule is, whatever is under my control, that doesn't make me happy. Whatever is not under my ownership, I want it. So, I want everything which is not under my control or my ownership, and I don't care whatever I have. That doesn't make much difference. And by that way, you are creating the distance between the body and soul. The more you create the distance, the happiness or the feeling of unhappiness starts rising. So yoga system says, okay, we understand now what is the problem. The problem is not the happiness or unhappiness. The problem is the power of mind. The more power the mind have, the more feeling of unhappiness in yourself. So that means what you have to do, don't focus on happiness, don't focus on unhappiness. You focus on reducing the power of mind. When I say power of mind, let me explain you with one example. There was one person, he was going through the jungle. When he was going through the jungle, he was so tired He doesn't have the water, he doesn't have anything to eat, and he was very much eager to go to home. And at that time, suddenly he sees there is something below the tree. So he just go there and just open the box, and he see that, oh, there is one small, some